Hello class, today we will start with the fluvial process and associated landform, the second part. In the previous class we have already done about the erosional walk of the river. Today we will start with the transportational walk of the river, that is the point when the river leaving the mountain, it enters the plain land, that there it starts the transportational walk of the river. So here the main walk of the river is traction, then saltation, then solution, and then suspension. So what is traction? The large size materials and boulders, when they are dragged by the rivers, it is known as traction. Then the next one is saltation. Saltation is what? When the rock materials of medium size, they jump up and down and the process of transportation goes on. Solution is what? When the solids like the salt, the rock salt and all, they get dissolved in water and they are moved downstream. And suspension means when the fine particles like the sand or the silt, they are carried in suspension over long distances. And remember one thing, that suspension provides a means of separating the solid particles of various size and carrying capacity, each size categories to different location. They are carried to different location, and this part is known as sorting. So we have studied about the 4 part of transportation. Remember, in transportation, the velocity of the river, that is, if I come to this transportational work, the velocity of the river is less and the volume is more, the slope is reduced. Remember these 3 things. That is why traction, saltation, solution and suspension. Next we are coming to the factors which is affecting the transportation. The first factor, that is the velocity of the water. The velocity of the water is the most important factor, in fact. So the increase in velocity of the water increases the transportational capacity. The more the velocity of the water, the more is the transportational capacity of the water. So it is said that if the velocity of the water is 2, then the transportation capacity of the river increases by 2 to the power of 6. Okay, that is 64 times. And the gradient, if you have a steep slope, then the velocity of the water in the river is much more. It will enhance the transportation capacity with the increase in slope, and naturally at gentle slopes will have a lesser transportational capacity. Coming to the volume, the transportational power of the water becomes double if the volume of the water is double. If the volume of the water is increased, then the transportational capacity is also increased. And for the size of the river load, what we can say? A stream can carry larger load of finer material than coarser material. So the distance up to which the eroded material is carried, it depends upon what? It depends upon the size and also upon the weight of the fragment. Remember this point. Okay. Next, what we are seeing? Next, we are coming to the middle course of the river, and we want to see that what are the landforms which are there in the middle course of the river. So there are 3 landforms specially, that is alluvial cones and fans, and then we can see river meanders and oxbow lake, which is very important, and river cliffs and slip of slope. So what are they? We will read one by one. First, let us read about alluvial cone. This one, the alluvial cone. What happened here? The velocity of the river, as I told you, as they are leaving the mountain and entering the plain land. So the velocity of the river is what is happening here? The velocity of the river is decreasing, isn't it? And so all the materials which is carried from this mountain is deposited in a form of cone at the foothills of the mountain. Okay, if I zoom this part, you can see all of them are carried and deposited on the foothills of the mountains. Then what happened in due course of time? What we will see, that alluvial cone is formed. Okay, and next we are coming to alluvial fan. So the river crosses this cone. Okay, when the river crosses this cone, again I will zoom and I will show you this portion. The river crosses this cone by small channels, and you can see a semicircular an alluvial fan is formed. Okay, so that is what is alluvial cones and alluvial forms, which is formed in the middle course of the river. The next one, okay, here is a picture of the alluvial fan and alluvial cone. First the cone is formed, and then because of the division of the cone by the river channels, alluvial fan is formed. A fan shaped semicircular deposit is formed. Next, a very interesting feature, that is river meander. Now we all know that the river will never flow straight. Okay, it will always bend, okay, in its course of time. So when there is a small obstruction, it will start bending, and then the bending starts increasing. Okay, so I will just zoom this picture in order to explain the diagram more properly. What is happening, please see. So when the river begins to move, okay, in its course, it is bending, and this bend is known as the meander because of a small obstruction in its path. The speed of the water is more on the concave bank, where the erosional work of the river is more prominent, and the concave bank is much steeper, and after eroding it, it is depositing it on the convex bank. So the concave bank is related to erosion, and the concave bank is related to deposition. Okay, it is much gentler, the convex bank, and the concave bank is much steeper. So a point of times come when the river, after bending, the bend starts increasing, and at one point of time, the loop increases so much that it's you can see the picture from here, that it gets cuts off at its neck from the main course, and a separate Oxbow Lake is formed. You can see this picture. The river starts bending so much that at a point of time it breaks from the main course, and a separate Oxbow Lake is formed. A separate loop is formed, which is known as Oxbow Lake. Next, what we will study is the river cliff and slip of slope. I will zoom this picture for better explanation. So we know that the river is meandering. Okay, so it erosional work on the outer concave side, and then the depositional work on the inner convex side that we have studied. Consequently, what will happen? The concave side has a very steep slope, as I was telling you, and they are known as river cliffs. But the inner convex side, which has a much gentler or depositional slope, will have a slip of slope. The name of that slope is slip of slope. The depositional slide is known as slip of slope. The erosional ride is known as river cliffs. You can see the river is meandering, cutting, Oxbow Lake is formed, and then finally the slip of slopes and what else? The river cliffs is formed. So in this class, we have studied about the erosional work of the river in the previous class, and in this class